Hello YouTubers, and today I'm going to be, this is something a little bit odd and a little bit of a rarity. So, these are 3 of the 5 unreleased figures from the Wave 5 of the 3.75 inch Doctor Who range. Now, these were due to be released sometime around in 2016, around the same time as the 12th Doctor's second sonic screwdriver, but because of all of the other 3 3/4 inch figures not really selling very well, and the collector's series of the 5.5 inch range being so much more successful, that character pretty much cancelled these figures, and that, though recently, very recently, at the time of recording this video, these turned up on eBay, and I bought 3 out of the 5, and here we are. So, these are all prototype figures that were shown at a toy fair, at least according to the seller that I bought these off. So, let's, without further ado, take a look at the figures. So, we'll start with what I think is the most interesting one, which is this, which is the Dalek from the Chase. Now, technically, this has been released in the 5.5 inch range, however it was slightly different, but before that I'll quickly go through the packaging. So if we do take a look at the packaging, it's unlike all of the other 3.75 inch figures, which use a fairly large window box. These ones are a lot smaller and are in the same scale as the 5.5 inch collector series, because so many people complained about the Wave 3 and Wave 4 packaging, including me, so they must have revamped it. However, this packaging might not have been final if the figures did get released, though it would make sense since the 12th Doctor's second sonic screwdriver was released in that style of packaging. So pretty much, if you have some of the 5.5 inch collector series figures, such as the Rose and K9, the 11th Doctor in Stetson, or if you live in the US, the Dalek Sec 5.5 inch re-release, then this packaging is pretty much just a smaller version of this, and this packaging is pretty small. It shows off the Dalek very well in the packaging, and you've got the name, and on the bottom here, you under the barcode, or on top of it, you have FPO, which I think either means for production, I don't know, I'm not quite sure what it means, but I think it's I don't know. But you can see also here it's a prototype, because on the back you don't actually have pictures of the figures, just their outlines. And the outlines of all the figures in the range. Now, there was also the Dalek from the Dalek's Invasion of Earth, which is essentially just a smaller version of the 5.5 inch version, as well as the 8th Doctor from Night of the Doctor and the Missy figure, essentially just smaller versions of their 5.5 inch counterpart. You can see you've got the Skangme thing there. Also, this seems to be a different type of cardboard. It seems a bit thicker and a bit more glossy. And as you can see at the bottom, also available, the 12th Doctor's second sonic screwdriver. And that's pretty much it for the packaging and the Character Options logo 5+ there. So anyway, let's go back to taking a look at the actual Dalek itself. So, as I said, it was released in the 5.5 inch range, though it was slightly different. For one, it used the Dead Planet Dalek body and base, so the thinner base, and also it used the Egg Cup dome lights, but also the 5-ringed eye stalk, whereas this one is slightly different. This is very similar to a movie Dalek from the first Peter Cushing Dalek film, Doctor Who and the Daleks, and that's because that's exactly what was used in the chase in the background. But what they've done this time is that they've given it new movie-style dome lights painted red. Interestingly, they've given it the Dead Planet Dalek's 9-ringed eye stalk, and they've given it the Hartnell gun, which is interesting because you can see on the bottom that it doesn't have the discs, but on the top it does, which is a bit weird. So that is a bit of an oddity. They've painted the base black, And the only reason I believe they've done this is because when it was seen in the chase, they removed the bases so that it would appear around the same height as the Daleks that the BBC already had. So, and also this could be also legal reasons as well, because Character Options do not have the license for the movie Daleks. Product Enterprise used to when they were a thing, but no one seems to have had a license since. But this is pretty much the closest thing we'll get to a Peter Cushing movie Dalek. I mean, the colours are really nice, as you can see, and that. Really, though, it should be a very much. The hemispheres should be a metallic blue, and so should the dome. Really, not this sort of matte finish. It should really be glossy. The gold bands and that look fine in that, but it should really be a glossy finish. The Product Enterprise is 8-inch infrared movie Daleks are pretty much spot on when it comes to detail and also the colouring and that. By the way, you know, this again could be for legal reasons, I don't know. I mean, this thing has never gotten a release and that, so yeah, it is very nice, and it's probably my favourite one, and obviously as an unreleased figure and that, it's probably the one that I wanted the most and sought after the most, and is probably the most different of these unreleased figures. Will we ever see a re-release in the 5-inch range with the larger base, the fender, and also these dome lights? Maybe, maybe not. I have a theory that maybe the dome lights or the headpiece is just the Supreme Dalek from Planet of the Daleks one, but just with... Okay, so I've just had a closer look at these, and yes, the dome lights, if you can see there's a little ridge going in, so it is literally the Supreme Dalek's dome from Planet of the Daleks, but with it just repainted, which isn't really correct, because in Planet of the Daleks, the dome lights were actually jam jars, so yeah, that doesn't really work. I mean, it disguises it pretty well, whether this would have been the final look. The eye sock, it's just the standard white dot in the middle, which is great because on the Power of the Daleks with Mutant Scoop 3 3/4-inch figure, they gave it a pupil for some weird reason, but they didn't carry it over here. Overall, very nice figure. Now let's take a look at a new series one, the Scarlet Dalek. So this is pretty much just the Dead Planet Dalek, or the Dalek from the Daleks Dalek, but with blue added to the shoulder section, and the eye being blue, the new series blue, and also on its thinner base as well. They've given it the Hartnell gun and that. Again, an unreleased figure, and that, and all three actually had this sculpt, this new sculpt with the two bands, you could call it, going round. It's got the proper Hartnell gun, which is all nice, well and good, and also the 9 rings of the eye stalk, which is very good. The dome lights are just part of the head sculpt and are just painted white. And essentially, you know, it's just a smaller version, really, of the 5-inch one. Now, interestingly, on the sucker, on all classic Daleks from the 3.75-inch Character Options range, they don't make it look like it's telescopic, unlike the 5-inch ones that have a little bit just at the end to give the illusion that it's telescopic. On these ones, they don't. This one, unlike this one here, isn't a massive loss. In fact, loads of people have got spare Dead Planet Daleks and done customs on, because it is literally so easy. Just paint the section the blue and paint the eye blue, and there you go. So is it a massive loss? No. And could it be done in the future? Could character options do this in the future? Yeah, very easily. But yeah, a Series 9 figure, and that was unreleased. And finally, we've got Peter Capaldi from Series 9 in his purple, in his red velvet jacket, or just in red jacket. Which is an interesting one, to be honest. So, it's got the cardigan sculpt. It's pretty much the Into the Dalek figure. So it's got the cardigan instead of a waistcoat, which is incorrect. Also, the jacket as well, I think should have really been painted in more of a gloss colour. This one's been painted in a matte finish and that, which I don't think really suits it. You can see they have painted the end white bits of his shirt poking out, which is all nice. And here we have the head sculpt, which the camera is struggling to focus on, but we might get there. And there we go. So, it looks to be almost like a repainted version of the original Peter Capaldi head, because it does look more like Peter Capaldi, though it does have that weird eyebrow thing happening. Whether the final figure would have had that, it's unknown. He also comes with his sonic screwdriver in closed mode, which is technically, really, it's the 11th Doctor sonic screwdriver. And if we take a look at the bottom, we've just got the black trousers with the black shoes. Is this a figure they could do in the 5.5-inch range? Yeah, pretty easily. They could. Will they? I don't know, to be honest, the last Peter Capaldi figure we had was the Series 9 variants with the new head sculpt. I would like to see a regeneration Capaldi figure in the future. Whether we get that, I don't know. But that's pretty much it. Now, the Missy figure, the 8th Doctor figure, and the Dark Invasion of Earth figure were all essentially just shrunken down versions of their vastly superior 5.5-inch counterparts, which is why I didn't buy them. Now, the Daleks cost me £23 each, and the Capaldi cost me £15, which, you know, seems like a lot, but considering they're prototypes, actually it's not really a bad price at all. But should this wave of figures, should it have been released? Well, the thing is, it's hard to say, because if it did get released, obviously these figures, you know, are starting to get the quality a lot better and that. But the thing is, no one is clambering for the 3.75-inch range to come back. I'm certainly not. I'm much happier that they're just exclusively doing the 5.5-inch range, even though we haven't had technically a new figure from them in over a year. But hopefully, you know, with the Jodie Whittaker, we might get a whole new range of 5.5-inch figures released. So really, even though these figures are very nice, well, the Daleks are very nice, the Dalek figures are always nice in this range. I am glad, really, that it wasn't released and character decided to focus all their efforts on the 5.5-inch range, rather than releasing these, because pretty much, you know, out of this wave of 5 figures, most of them are just variants. I mean, the 12th Doctor is just a repaint. And as for the Daleks, although there is just a new sculpt for these, for the bands going around here, it's essentially, you know, just repaints and swapping bases 3 times over. And for the Missy and Paul McGann, again, just shrunken down versions of their vastly superior counterparts. So, let me know what you think of this range. Do you think it should have been released? Are you glad that it wasn't released? And do you think character should actually release it? Let me know in the comments below. But anyway, that is it for this interesting look back at these prototypes. And I will see you whenever. Bye-bye.